In India, a Supreme Court ordered the opening of 6 vaults beneath an ancient temple. 5 vaults revealed $22 billion in treasure: gold statues, jeweled crowns, diamonds. The 6th vault they refused to open, twice. In Ethiopia, the Orthodox Church claims to hold the original Ark of the Covenant. One monk is the only person allowed inside. Not the patriarch, not the head of state, not the Pope. And in a museum in Amman, Jordan, there is a copper scroll listing 64 locations of buried treasure worth approximately $1 billion. Nobody is digging. Today we're going through 10 religious artifacts the church keeps hidden from the public. Let's get into it. The heads of John the Baptist. Plural. The Umayyad Mosque in Damascus claims to have his head. The Residenz Museum in Munich also claims to have his head. The Church of San Silvestro in Rome, whose name literally translates to Saint Sylvester at the head, also claims to have his head. 3 institutions, 3 continents, 1 skull. None of them have permitted independent scientific testing. None of them have acknowledged the other's claims. And the question of which one, if any, is telling the truth has been left unanswered for centuries. Maybe we should DNA test all 3. Maybe we shouldn't. I don't know. I guess I'll pass on that. In 828 CE, 2 Venetian merchants traveled to Alexandria and stole the bones of the Apostle Mark. And here is how they got them out of Egypt. They hid them under layers of pork and cabbage, because Muslim customs officials at the port would not touch the pork. The bones arrived in Venice. They were installed at the Basilica di San Marco and have been venerated there ever since. The problem is that the remains have never been scientifically authenticated. There are also records suggesting the Alexandrian church knew the theft was coming and swapped the bones before the merchants arrived. Whether what's in the basilica is actually the Apostle Mark, a decoy, or something else entirely has never been established. The church venerates them. The testing has not been permitted. In 1952, among the Dead Sea Scrolls at Qumran, archaeologists found something completely unlike the others, made of pure copper, and instead of a religious text, a list. 64 locations across ancient Judea, each describing a buried cache of gold and silver. The total, if accurate, worth approximately $1 billion. I felt like Austin Powers guy.
$1 million.
Access to the scroll was restricted. Publication was delayed for years. It now sits in a museum in Jordan. None of the 64 locations have ever been excavated. Whether the treasure is real, whether the locations are accurate, whether any of it still exists, nobody knows. There is a $1 billion treasure map made of copper in a museum, and nobody is digging. Mr. G never taught me this in 10th grade. I feel like I would have paid more attention if I knew treasure was on the line. In 1945, an Egyptian farmer near Nag Hammadi dug up a sealed clay jar containing early Christian texts buried for over 1,600 years. Among them was the Gospel of Thomas, not a narrative gospel, just 114 sayings attributed directly to Jesus. Things he apparently said that didn't make it into the official Bible. The texts were buried around the same time the Council of Nicaea was deciding which documents would become official scripture. The Coptic Museum in Cairo controls the originals. Independent scholarly access has been limited and contested for decades. 114 sayings attributed to Jesus suppressed for 1,600 years, found in a jar in a field. The church's official position is essentially silence. The Hajar al-Aswad is embedded in the eastern corner of the Kaaba, the black cubic structure at the center of the Grand Mosque in Mecca, the holiest site in Islam. At some point in history, the stone was broken into fragments, now held together by a silver frame. Millions of pilgrims attempt to kiss or touch it, and here is what stays with you. It has never been scientifically studied. Non-Muslims are forbidden from entering Mecca. Saudi authorities have never permitted independent testing. Whether the stone is a meteorite, volcanic basalt, or something else entirely has never been established by science. The most kissed object on Earth, and no scientist has ever been allowed to examine what it actually is. In Topkapi Palace in Istanbul, in the Chamber of Sacred Relics, there is a golden casket containing the mantle of the Prophet Muhammad, one of 2 surviving mantles said to have belonged to Muhammad himself. The room has a Hafiz, someone who has memorized the entire Quran, reciting continuously 24 hours a day without stopping. The casket is opened once a year during Ramadan. Scientific examination has never been permitted, whether it dates to the 7th century, whether it was actually Muhammad's, nobody outside a small circle of Turkish religious authorities knows. A man recites the Quran over it every hour of every day, while the questions science could answer remain unanswered. In ancient Rome, the Palladium was a small wooden statue the Romans believed had fallen from the sky. As long as it was in Rome, the city could not fall. The Vestal Virgins guarded it. When Emperor Constantine moved his capital to Constantinople in 330 CE, he reportedly took it with him and buried it beneath the base of his column, the Column of Constantine, which still stands in Istanbul today. It has never been excavated. Whether the object the Romans believe protected their entire empire is buried under a column in the middle of a modern city, nobody really knows because nobody's been allowed to look. In 2011, the Supreme Court of India ordered the opening of the vaults beneath the Sri Padmanabhaswamy Temple in Kerala. 5 vaults were opened. Inside were gold statues, jeweled crowns, ancient coins, diamonds, $22 billion in treasure, the largest discovery of hidden temple wealth in recorded history. There was a 6th vault. The priests said it was protected by divine serpents and could only be opened through a specific ritual no one alive knows how to perform. The Supreme Court declined to open it. In 2020, they declined again. Nobody has opened Vault B. Whatever is in there is sitting behind $22 billion in confirmed treasure in a vault that an entire Supreme Court refused to open twice. That's not a decision you make lightly. There's a reason for that. In 1912, a rare book dealer purchased a manuscript from a Jesuit college near Rome, sold secretly to avoid Italian government confiscation. The manuscript had previously belonged to Holy Roman Emperor Rudolph II, who paid an enormous sum for it in the 1580s. It is 240 pages, written entirely in an unknown script, filled with illustrations of unidentifiable plants, astronomical diagrams, and figures bathing in interconnected pools. Carbon dated to 1404 to 1438, in over a century of study involving professional cryptographers, linguists, and AI systems, not a single word has been definitively decoded. It's passed through the hands of a Holy Roman Emperor, a Jesuit library, and a secret sale before landing at Yale University, where it sits today. The most studied, unread document in human history, 600 years old, and whatever it says, nobody knows. In the city of Axum, inside the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church claims to hold the original Ark of the Covenant, the golden chest described in Exodus, built under Moses' direction, said to have housed the 10 Commandments. The protocol the church has maintained for centuries is this: one monk is appointed guardian for life. He lives beside the chapel. He never leaves the compound. He is the only human being permitted inside the room where the ark is kept. Not the Ethiopian patriarch, not the head of state, not any scientist, not any foreign dignitary, not even the Pope. When the guardian dies, he appoints his successor. That is the entire system. No verification, no testing, no photographs, no outside examination of any kind. Whether the Ark is actually in that room, nobody except the Guardian has ever seen it, and the Guardian is certainly not talking. The most sought-after religious artifact in human history, in a room in Ethiopia with one man standing between it and the entire world. He has been saying no for a very long time. All right, guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I will see you again soon.